Hey Fiber friends, it's Melanie. I'm over at the Longmont Yarn Shop and today is Fiber at 4. I am here. Anne is my wonderful assistant, so you'll see her be popping on here in just a couple of minutes. Let me know how my audio sounds. If you're having any trouble hearing me, let me know in the chat. And what's great about Fiber at 4 is we're going to show you some of our favorite yarns, give you a quick inside scoop into the different contents, maybe some projects you can work with it. But our theme today is increasing women's heart health awareness. So we are talking about crafting with red to increase heart awareness for the month of February. And I just wanted to mention a couple of facts about heart disease, which is really important because we have lots of wonderful women in our lives that we want to make sure are nice and healthy. So we are focusing on February on cardiovascular disease because it is unfortunately the #1 killer of women. 1 in 3 deaths each year. And that's our mothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, coworkers, and more. So one thing we really want to focus on this month is just keeping ourselves healthy, going to the doctor and getting checked up. Oh, hey Nancy, hey Gloria, thank you guys so much for joining us. Doreen is here, awesome. If you have any wonderful women in your life, you want to make sure that we are keeping our hearts healthy. It impacts some women at higher rates than others, but the simple truth is that most cardiovascular diseases can still be prevented with education and healthy lifestyle changes. And do you mind shutting off the air conditioning? Sorry, hopefully you could hear me. It's actually quite warm in Longmont today, so I'm going to mention the stuff I'm wearing, and before I start to melt, I'll take it off. I'm going to put in the description a link to the American Heart Association Go Red for Women movement, which has been going on since 2004 with the goal of raising awareness and fighting women's greatest health threat, cardiovascular disease. So we'll put a link to that of where you can find some different facts and information about crafting red, going red for women's heart health. So Christiana has put together a very wonderful list of some gorgeous red yarns today. And aside from the color, the yarns are absolutely gorgeous. So if red is not your color, we have many other colorways to choose from. Red happens to be my color. It's one of my absolute favorite colors, close to green, and I also really adore yellow. But the first one I want to talk about is Zoe by Juniper Moon Farms. And this is a gorgeous cotton and linen blend, and this is pretty darn close, I believe, to the Pantone color of the year. Our crochet instructor Andy Graves was talking, she was trying to pick out the color of the year, and she said this Zoe was pretty darn close. So this, again, it's a 60% cotton, 40% linen. You get 284 yards, and it retails for $21.99. It's a soft cotton linen blend, and actually this has been a really popular one amongst our weavers. This would also be great for dish towels. It's one that would soften up the more that you wash and wear it, and would also make a really nice summer shawl or shirt. And now that I say that, I will show you this really gorgeous sample that we have in the shop. This is a beautiful shawl made out of Zoe, and this actually caught Cheryl's eye. The pattern has a really beautiful open lace work. So this pattern is called, oh, that's funny. What is the pattern called? It says the name is called Shawl, which is hard to believe. I'll go back and take a look. But this was sent over to us from the wonderful people over at Juniper Moon Farms. And it's definitely has a little bit more of a heavier feel to it with the cotton, but not too heavy. It really does feel like it would be a great shawl to throw over when it's nice and warm and sunny out, just to give you a little something for your shoulder. So that's a really cute shawl with Zoe. And I just wanted to mention the items that I'm wearing today because they happen to go with my outfit. So this is the this is made out of Dan dough, And this is a shawl pattern. I believe this is River. We have kits for this in the shop, but this is by Yumiko Alexander, who is a designer and owner of Dan Doe. And this is the River shawl, which has a really beautiful twisted cable at the bottom. And great for just putting over your shoulders. So it's beautiful red. And I'm also wearing this thrummed hat, which was made by Christy. And this was for a class that we had that uses roving to make these really cute little red hearts. So that went perfectly with our theme. Okay, so now after Zoe, we have a really popular fan favorite, which is Arroyo by Malabrigo. And people have made sweaters, shawls, scarves, hats. It's so lovely and bouncy and springy. This is the Dos Tierras by Malabrigo in the colorway Cereza. Oh, and I should have grabbed Arroyo actually. But Dos Tierras is our DK weight yarn. It's 210 yards or 193 meters. 50% merino wool, 50% baby alpaca, and this is the Cereza colorway. So really, really beautiful red. Chunky DK, well, I shouldn't say chunky DK, it's a DK, and it will knit up nice and quickly. Beautiful, beautiful red. Okay. Then we have the Halo Lace by Apothecary. And you definitely want to act on this quickly because we do not have a lot of Halo Lace left. I got a chance to meet Faye. She goes by Faye at the Interweave Yarn Festival. She is the dyer and maker and genius behind Apothecary Fabrications. This is her Halo Brushed Surrey Alpaca, and it is 75% Surrey Alpaca, 21% wool, 4% nylon, and 140 yards. So this is just a really beautiful oranges and reds. Thank you so much. Anne is the best. And I brought this hat sample to show you how that halo lace can knit up. So this is the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. This is also a class that's taking place, and it's going to be taught by Christy. And so this is a really nice doubly thick hat that's using 2 yarns held together to get that really nice halo effect. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you could pair this beautiful brushed halo lace with, say, a fingering weight yarn, and it gives you a super cozy double knit hat. I just finished one for myself for my birthday a couple weeks ago, and it's my go-to hat right now. Because apparently, Anne and I have been talking, apparently we're getting some snow, some weather this week, so prepare yourself, friends. Okay, so the Malabrigo that I actually wanted to show you is the Arroyo, and also the Cereza colorway. This retails for $22.99. You get 335 yards. It's a DK sport weight yarn and 100% superwash merino wool. So this is really, really pretty. I'll show you this compared to the Arroyo. They definitely have a different stitch definition. Ooh, this way. So you can see the Arroyo over here has, Dos Tierras has a bit more of that visible twist there. And then our Arroyo here has a lot more of a smoother, rounder look to it. So it's definitely a bit of a different knit, but it's fun to play with the different fiber content. So one's 50-50 wool and alpaca, and the other is 100% superwash. We did get a restock of Malabrigo too, so if you're a Malabrigo fan, check it out. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is Soft by Studio Donegal, a really nice Irish wool. And I picked out my 2 reddest colors. This one's purple, I admit, but that's for Christiana because she's our purple lover. So this is the Donegal Soft. It's 100% merino wool, and it is spun by Donegal Yarns in Donegal, Ireland. I will say that this is one that we have used in our felting classes. So it's a really nice wool. If you're interested in felting, this will felt. You get 210 yards or 190 meters, and it retails for $21.99. And this color, it's probably just going to be a color number. Oh, good. It's called Burgundy, or 5538. Really pretty burgundy. This has some variation in the colors of the skein, so you can see some bits of pops of pink. I'll show you this beautiful red. It's not simply red. You've got some cool tweedy blues and browns, and it gives it some great character. You can see it knit up here. This is the Unbreakable Vow Toque, very popular hat pattern here at the shop. We've knitted up in a couple of different versions. And this used likely less than one ball, knit on a size US 7 or 8. Super cozy and tweedy. And I'll show you one more example. This is a sweater version, because this would be a great worsted weight yarn to knit a sweater out of. This is the Forager Sweater by Isabel Kramer, knit out of Soft by Studio Donegal. It's very cozy and warm, and this does feel like the type of yarn that would really hold up, like as a hiking sweater or throwing it on. Like, you don't have to be too delicate with this one, which is always good to have in your closet. Okay, so last one before I invite Anne to come over is going to be the Remix Chunky. So this is the Remix Chunky by our friends over at Barocco. And Remix Chunky is a blend of 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, 9% linen, and it's 100% recycled fibers. So this is a really beautiful sort of tweedy heathered look, and it always feels good when you can use some recycled fibers. I've seen the DK weight knit up really beautifully into a great fabric. So if you are, for example, wanting to do some of the cocoa knit sweaters and you need a chunkier yarn, consider trying out the Remix Chunky by Barocco. Okay, I think I've made a bit of a mess for you.
That's okay.
But you are ready to go, and Anne is going to start talking about Blue-Faced Leicester. It's going to be right over here. Pardon me as we shuffle around. And then right here. These last four.
Hi everybody, I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Anne here. First, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm wearing, since we do have the supplies for that here at Longmont Yarn Shoppe. So this is the No Lonnie shawl, and I made it with these bundles from Emma's Yarn. They are the Mo Slub bundles. So you can see they come with one yarn that's more a superwash slubby yarn, and then also a skein of the mohair. And they are worked separately, so you aren't holding them at the same time. But I pulled sort of a pinkish purplish. We didn't have a red to go with the theme this evening, but wanted to show a couple that were along those lines. All right. And so the next red yarn I'd like to talk about tonight is the Blue-Faced Leicester from Juniper Moon Farm. It is 100% Blue-Faced Leicester wool. It's a really nice rustic wool with just a little bit of crimp. If you can see there, it is really soft and it makes really great stitch definition. It would be wonderful for something like cables or anything where you'd love to see the definition. The Blue-Faced Leicester is what Gail used to make these weekend walking mitts. I believe we still have a few kits available for these as well. All right. And let's talk about vintage DK next. So this is going to be another, I believe, worsted weight yarn. It is by Barocco, And this yarn is actually an acrylic wool nylon blend. So it's very soft, it's very durable. It would make wonderful garments for children because it's easy to launder, or anything else that you would like to have that's very durable but also very soft and feels like a quality, luxurious yarn to make fabric with. All right, the next one we will talk about is this Mountain Meadow Tweed Sport. Let's see, and this is a 2-ply sport weight, grown on Little Ranch in Buffalo, Wyoming, which is where the retreat that we are hosting in Buffalo, I believe the tour is of this mill.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're gonna do some yarn dyeing there too.
Yes, and there will be yarn dyeing there as well. So this, you can see the beautiful tweed, you can see the 2 colors in there. That would also make a great stitch definition. Yeah, lovely, lovely colors put together in this yarn. All right, the next one is this Ultra Alpaca Chunky in this beautiful bright red color. This is a 50-50 alpaca and wool blend. This would knit up really quickly into a beautiful hat, into mittens. You could make a great sweater with this. It's nice that it's an alpaca wool blend. It's always nice to have that blend when you're working with alpaca to contain any growing that might happen upon blocking. But that's a great bright red. Let's see. This color doesn't have an exciting name, but it should because, because it's so pretty. All right, and lastly we have the Silk Paca. This color is called Ravelry Red, and this is our alpaca, 70% baby alpaca and 30% silk. So it is a lace weight yarn. It's very luxurious, very soft, and you're gonna get a lot of strength with the silk in there. This would be wonderful to make a delicate lace project or also to hold along with another yarn. It has just a slight halo. It's really beautiful and soft. Yeah. And again, that is Ravelry Red.
Perfect. Was that our last one?
I think that was our last one.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you will join us next Sunday for Fiber at 4. This is going to be our last Fiber at 4 on Sundays. We're going to be transitioning to a fun coffee with Christiana. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us. But I do want you to mark your calendars for next Sunday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. If you can't make it or you really enjoy our Fiber at 4s, head on over to our YouTube channel at Longmont Yarn Shoppe, and you can watch all of our replays over there. I also wanted to remind you that our Warm Things drive is still going on. You can purchase thermal socks for donation. These are available on our website or in the store for $7.99. And we're also still taking donations for our Warm Things drive. If you've got some extra hats or mittens or scarves or shawls, we would love to pass those on to people who need them. And as Anne mentioned, we're going to Wyoming to see Mountain Meadow Wools. That's a really fun retreat. You can sign up on the homepage of our website. Let's see, we also have the Box of Hope, which is a really great organization that helps women in Rwanda who work at the farm. They take care of rabbits and sheep, and they spin the yarn, dye the yarn. So I know it is always really special to me that I get to work in the fiber industry, and you know, it's just nice to be able to support women all around the world. Monostila Uruguay does that as well, who, you know, we share this similar thread. We're kind of obsessed with knitting and spinning and weaving and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in purchasing a Box of Hope, we have 3 different boxes to choose from. And we are doing a meet and greet with Diana Wiley from Handspun Hope on March 10th at Friday Evening Handwork. I hope you can join us then too.
Excellent.
Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of classes. Anything you're really excited about?
Yes. Let's see. I believe there's a machine knitting class coming up.
Ooh, yes.
The poncho. Yep. We've had a lot of interest around that. So if machine knitting is something you're interested in, check that out on our website.
Yes, the poncho. I know that the 3-hour beanies were very popular, and we're also starting to do machine knitting studio sessions. So if you have a knitting machine or you're interested in working with one, you can come by for our studio session and get help from our 2 machine knitting instructors, Laura and Nancy. So it's really invaluable. I know I've sat at my machine sometimes and I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. So this is a good opportunity to join in our studio sessions, to bring your project along, sit for a couple of hours, and really work through those issues that you're having.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe there's a beginning knitting and crochet starting next month too.
Yes.
So for anyone who's wanting to start or knit or crochet their first project, those are also on longmontyarnshoppe.com.
Awesome.
I noticed somebody asked in the chat if the 4 o'clock, if it was still going to be 4 o'clock, the coffee with Christiana.
Next Sunday will be our last Sunday at 4 p.m. So we'll be transitioning, I believe, to Tuesday mornings. We will definitely put that information out there for you. But yes, I'm pretty sure February is our last Sunday at 4 p.m. But we have loved meeting with you guys every Sunday. So please join us for our next session. But we'll be here next Sunday. So you'll get more information Sunday at 4 p.m. about our continuing Fiber at 4, but our evolving Fiber at 4, I should say.
Nice. Well, I feel privileged to be a part of my first and the last Fiber at 4.
Yes, yes. Anne is our newest hire here at the Longmont Yarn Shop. It has been super fun working with you. And I think you mentioned you've been knitting for a couple of years now, but you've really picked up the pace in the last 3 years.
Yes. I joked that even though I've known how to knit for about 20 years, but I feel like the last 3 years I've been knitting so intensively that it's made up for some years of knitting off and on.
Yeah. I would say, I was talking to Anne earlier, and I've been knitting for a long time, but I don't think I really pushed myself to do harder things. I would say I knit socks, if that, that may be hard, but until I started working here, I really felt very inspired to do color work, do sweaters, do garments. So having that community around you really helps, I think, to encourage you to step out of your zone a little bit.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys, we do that for you too. Some inspiration, getting you guys excited about new projects.
Yes. Anyone wanting to, get into garment knitting, or, something that you really care about the fit, a sweater, or even, a perfectly fit hat. This is a great community to ask questions or come to a class or a knit along if you're just wanting that extra little bit of support to take that next step with your knitting.
Very true. Yes.
Or crochet.
Allison has a good question. Why during the week when people are working? That's a good question. We have kind of been testing out to see when most of our followers are online, and it does kind of vary. The one benefit of doing them as lives is that they sort of stay online, so you can always catch our replay. You can catch our replays on YouTube as well. So you're always welcome to participate. And we're still kind of figuring out the time. So if there is a time that works best for you, we would love to hear it. Because we have just a great crew that shows up for Fiber at 4. So let us know, what's the best time? What do you look forward to most about Fiber at 4? We're always looking for feedback. So thank you guys so much. Welcome, Anne. Yes, thank you, Doreen. Welcome,
Thank you.
We're so excited. We've had a busy day today.
Yes.
You ready to go home and eat some food and sit down and knit maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds very relaxing.
All right.
It's been a great busy day.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week for Fiber at 4, but join us on Tuesday for our daily live at 11 a.m.
Look forward to seeing everybody.
Take care.